Storms near I-40 in far western Oklahoma. Trackers have this entire dry line in these areas where supercells have developed lined, including a few of our trackers that will be bringing these storms back into the Tulsa area, where right now it is cloudy. That's a look on our Osage Casino Skycam network on the bottom of your screen. Right now, let me show you radar where these storms are located. Where you see the green boxes, tornado watch in effect for Kansas and for all of western Oklahoma. That's where the dry line is moving in, and that's where these supercells have gone up, kind of like a house on fire. They have really exploded over the last hour, and they are rotating, producing extremely large hail and damaging winds, but no tornadoes so far, and hopefully we can keep it that way. Unfortunately, they're starting to spin a little bit faster, especially this one storm that is near Cheyenne. It is starting to turn right now, moving into Roger Mills County. Eventually, it'll be in Custer County. You can see the helicopter is there, one of our two helicopters, which will be keeping an eye on that storm. Latest data has that thing tracking along I-40 into the evening. Also watching storms in southwestern Oklahoma. Everything moving to the east-northeast and will be impacting green country coming up later this evening. Now, I put a storm track, just a very broad timeline for you on these thunderstorms. Some of them are moving more of an easterly direction than a northerly direction, but giving you just kind of a timeline broad. 8:30 for the Tulsa area. That's when these storms will start to arrive. Keep in mind, they can speed up some, they can also slow down some, but that's the latest track on the storms that are developing out west. We are quiet right now. It's 79 degrees. It is warm. It is muggy. The dew point is at 66. Humidity 65%, and it's also breezy right now. Here's look at the dew point temperature, 60s, and we now have 70-degree dew points. That's what we call humid down in southern Oklahoma, and that is also fuel for thunderstorms. The higher the humidity, the higher the dew point value. Sometimes that can make those thunderstorms more intense once they move into that environment. Also, it causes the heat index. Our temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, already 90 degrees in Altus. Now, the air's drier and a little cooler out in the Panhandle. Winds are gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. It's breezy. We've had a few showers, a few sprinkles across green country. That's going to be the case into the evening. Then we have to watch the supercells out west. Now, on future view, they're not quite as large as what they are in real life, so it's downplaying it a little bit. But keep in mind for timing, by about 8 o'clock moving across I-35, green country, basically between 8 and 10. I think that first round will move on through, and then overnight, we're going to have 2 rounds. Overnight, another threat of thunderstorms developing as the low-level jet kicks in. Those will likely be arriving around drive time coming up for your Thursday, and we will likely see additional thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. So a lot of water headed towards green country. As far as the threat goes, the higher threat for the stronger storms is definitely out west. That's where we have that moderate threat. It is a low threat across Tulsa and across much of green country, a little higher to the north where the wind shear is a little bit higher, but all modes possible in western Oklahoma. This is the area we're going to watch closely for the next several hours. Timeline, broken this down by the state, okay? So now through about 6 o'clock out west, between 6 and 8 o'clock approaching I-35, between 8 and 11, that's when we're going to watch that threat up and down green country, basically from Creek County all the way over to Pryor, all the way down to McAllister and far eastern Oklahoma around midnight. As far as the wind threat and the latest wind zone, still think these storms, once they get here, will be weakening. That's good news, but they'll still pose a threat for damaging winds, and we may still have the threat for hail as well, okay? Larger hail definitely with those isolated storms out west. When you get storms that are discrete, we call it, or individual, they can live, they can breathe, they can grow, they can become very large, and that's what they're doing. Once they become a line, which I think is what we will see in green country, they weaken some, and you notice that tornado threat starts to weaken, but it is still going to be there. These storms, as they're in that line, still can produce brief spin-ups. That will be possible overnight tonight. But again, as far as the larger tornadoes, those are possible in western Oklahoma today. Severe threat for Tulsa is still very low. I think hail and wind a bigger threat overnight, and the flooding threat not really there with these storms. This afternoon, the storm threat is highest out west. This evening, we'll see it increase. I think more numerous storms and a line of storms developing. That then approaches green country, and then we'll have another round into the early morning hours. And tomorrow, we'll still have a chance for severe storms because the dry line won't have moved through yet. It's still way out in the Panhandle. As it does, we may see a few strong to severe storms. I don't think it's going to be widespread severe weather, and the system isn't even out of here until Friday morning. That's when the cold front moves through, and we'll still be monitoring southern and southeastern parts of the area for a few strong to severe storms. So our trackers are out, the entire team. We've geared up with our sister station, News 9 in Oklahoma City. We'll be bringing you updates into the evening as these storms move across I-35 into the area. We'll keep you updated overnight into the day tomorrow and again on Friday. Okay, keep your News on 6 app handy. We'll always bring you updates there. We have the latest radar there, the latest threats, the latest timeline. Just go to newson6.com/connect.